How's everyone doing? So today, I wanted to jump in. I just came back from the gym and I just had this is really spur of the moment. There's a lot of things that I was kind of really thinking about and I wanted to share, and I really think it's going to help you guys. So there's no actual sculpting and anything in this one, but this is all about the creative mindset and habits and constantly striving to better improve yourself, which is something I think we all should be doing on a consistent basis. So what happened today when I was thinking is I went to the gym and I was already planning to go a little bit later, but I went a little bit earlier because I was a little worn out and tired and just kind of feeling groggy. And so what I've always done in the past is when I go to the gym, even if it's just to go out there and walk or just do some cardio, just get my body moving, and it automatically uplifts me. But I made a few extra connections today, and while I was walking, I kind of was listening to a podcast with Jay Shetty and Brendon Burchard, and he was talking about habits, but he was talking about doing, resetting yourself and taking breaks. So there's a couple new habits that I currently want to implement into my days and my weeks to kind of better myself. And I just wanted to share with you guys that I'm not perfect and I never will try to be. I will constantly be trying to improve myself. I have my bad days. I have my really good days. I have, plenty of those thoughts that go through my mind that I'm not happy about or that upset me or throw me off course. But I always try to bring myself back. And so what I'm sharing with you guys today is not only some of the new habits that kind of formed and I'm trying to put into play, as well as some of the other habits, but some of the newest habits that I've been implementing last year and this year, and just share how I kind of go about them and how I'm going about the current two new ones that I want to put into play. So starting at the end of last year, I said, you know what, I want to read more. I've been reading a lot of self-help and psychology and mindset type of books, but I also wanted to get back into storybooks because I enjoyed them as a kid, doing Goosebumps, but certain stories I always had that point to where my mind would trail off in different directions and I couldn't focus. I would be that person that would read a page and kind of forget about it, or I'd start thinking about something and I get to the bottom of the page and I'm like, oh crap, I just read like 2 pages. I don't even know what was on it. And so that's why I didn't enjoy books. Now, there's certain types of books that I enjoy, but what I would say is that I said I want to get more into reading and doing that. So first thing I did was, I said I need to read better, and I got Jim Kwik's speed reading course, and that helped immensely. And it got me more into reading. And so last year I started that and got into that a lot more. So last year I read about 20 to 30 books. I'd say like the 2 or 3 years before that I was starting to get into books, and I might have read 10 to 20 in those 3-year span. And before that, it was probably my entire lifetime has been probably about that many. But this year, I've already read about 100 books. And it's because I've been able to not only, enjoy it and actually focus, but I've also built the habit of I put that into my morning routine to where I get up, I shower, and I write in my journal for a few pages, and then I read as well as meditate for a little bit. But putting in that reading, make sure that I actually do it every single day. And so that's one of the habits that I've been happy to kind of continue to do. The other one that I put in earlier this year, in January, was to start writing more. And I need to put in actually writing and getting into stories a little bit more. But I've been doing journaling every morning, and it's just a way of, putting down 3 pages, filling 3 pages every morning of just getting things off your chest, just kind of doing a mental unloading, just kind of vomiting on the page. Sometimes you have amazing ideas, other times nothing comes out and you're just sitting there writing, I don't know what to write, I just got to fill these pages, I only got 5 minutes left, but I need to fill these pages, writing that over and over again. But the amazing thing that even if you don't come up with ideas, first off, I'm happy if I write 9 or 10 pages of crap and come up with one good idea on the 11th page. But the other thing is that it instills in me that even if I don't have something to say, I'm sticking to this habit, and every day that kind of ingrains in me so that it has become a habit that I do every day. Now coming up to later on, I wanted to also, eat better, but also stay a lot more hydrated. And so last week I decided I need to get more hydration. So how can I make this in the simplest possible way? Well, instead of trying to remember to drink, 8 ounces of glasses of water or how many water bottles, because if you look at, the regular water bottle at 16 ounces, I would need I'd need about 6.5, 7 of those a day. So what I decided to do was every night I'm going to fill one of these bottles, which is approximately 64 ounces. So as long as I get through most of this, then I'm good. 2 of these, I fill up 2 of them. And so the way that I decided to remember it was every night when I brush my teeth, after I do that, I'll link up going to the kitchen and filling up both jugs. That way they both get filled. And then as I go throughout the day, I also notice that just sipping is a lot easier and you're not taking in as much water. But over the course of the day, I'm actually able to drink both of them. And I've been drinking more water this past week than I have in probably since I can remember. So that was one of the other things I wanted to do, was I wanted to hydrate a lot more. And so, making it super simplistic and getting excited about the fact that, I already went through a whole bottle, and, linking it up to, making sure I do it every night. So that's one of the things that's helped me. But now I'm still constantly trying to improve. And one of the things I'm trying to do is making sure that I get in and I sculpt and I do something every single day. Now, I have no problem getting in and, sculpting. However, within these past few months, with everything that's shifting and me trying to go in a few new directions with courses and lessons, that's the things that's kind of been, my inner demon of analysis paralysis and overanalyzing what I should sculpt and things like that, instead of going back to just having fun with it. So even if you're only able to go in and sculpt for 10 minutes, you can still create something. You can have fun. And when you do that, first off, the 10 minutes automatically alleviates the idea that it's going to be hard or it's going to be amazing or I don't know how long I'm going to go in. When you first say it, I'm going to go in and studio and sculpt, you're thinking, all right, well, that might take an hour. I might be in there for 2 hours, depending on how long I sculpt. I don't know if I have that kind of time. When you set a timer for 10 minutes, it says, at the end of that 10 minutes, I'm going to stop. And so, it makes it that much easier to go in. And usually, once you get in there, game on, you're ready to go. And you're already in the zone. So you can keep going past that 10 minutes, or you can, at the end of that 10 minutes, say, you know what, I'm proud of myself, I'm excited. I don't feel like doing it anymore, but that's a win for today. And so getting back into today, what kind of hit me was, first off, Brendan Burchard was sharing, taking breaks and doing a little reset. So he had a few techniques for, kind of getting up and moving and, awakening yourself and a few things like that I'm just like, that's awesome, because my mornings I can usually do pretty good. My evenings I can usually do pretty good, but I always have a slump in the afternoons. And so, in previous times I learned about, the Pomodoro technique, and a lot of high performance people were due. And the concept is to get yourself into flow, you need breaks. And so it would say, go all in hardcore for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. And then go in for another 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. And it helps you to reset. So I adapted to that to my sculpting, because I'm like, 25 minutes, you kind of get into it, but my standard was like an hour to 45 minutes to get a good warm up in. So that's when I set up, I do 45 minutes and then I do a 5 or 10 minute break. But I want to kind of add on to making sure that I stay, active during the day, to where every hour I want to make sure that I take a break. Whether it's I'm sitting around, that way if I'm sitting around and I kind of start slouching, and that's what happens when your energy starts slipping away. If I've noticed with myself that I'm good if I keep going, but if I take a break and kind of relax, that's when things start to kind of go downhill. So if I can remind myself and set a timer every time I sit down, for an hour, 45 minutes or something to get up and move, that's going to set into place of me actually getting up and doing it and actually being more active, and I won't be, as tired. The other thing that I noticed was, yes, I go to the gym to move around, and that gets me into a better state, and also listening to podcasts and other people and their amazing stories gets me into a really good mood. So one other thing that I'm going to put into place is that I still go to a day job, a part-time job in the morning, and even though it's not hard and I have no problem with it, I actually kind of enjoy it, sometimes there's slower times, and it was like today, there wasn't a whole lot to get done, and the last hour I was I was like just ready to go. And I was in that mode of, we already finished this, and I don't feel like downstocking or doing this. And so that last hour, whenever I'm not moving around, that's when I start getting tired. And you guys know that. When you guys are at work and there's nothing to do, you kind of fall into that mode of where you're in school and watching the clock. And so this morning, I was pumped. I was super excited. I was going to record some stuff for my courses. I was super pumped, and I went to work. I was energized. But yet when I left, and I didn't even have that long of a day today. I got out at 11 this morning, but I was already drained just because of that last hour of not being, not having anything to do, not being motivated, and not moving around. So I said, you know what? Every day after work, because of the fact that you usually get into this slump of, I'm starting to get tired. I just got off of work. I need to go home and relax. Or, it was such a long day, or I don't feel like doing it. I'm going to shift that to saying, I'm going to go to the gym every day after work. Or I'm going to go to the gym every afternoon, whether it's a work day, whether I'm at work or whether I'm not. That way my midday gets that energy boost. And so with that, you just hit the gym, and that walking, that movement, it doesn't have to be a hardcore workout. For me, it's just going to be, yes, I can work out, I can hit the weights, or I can just do some walking. And just doing some cardio is going to get me into a better positive mindset. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today because it's fresh and it's on my mind, and I was just thinking about it. Some of the old habits that I put into place earlier this year, as well as current habits that I'm putting in now with, doing creativity every day. I'm going to start moving a lot more and start taking breaks that are actually more meaningful and pumping me up, moving around. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know if there's anything you guys are struggling with. Join me over at YouTube, over on social media. Follow me there. Also, I have a Patreon that helps to support a lot of these videos, as well as the Little Heroes projects that I'm doing. Let me know what you guys think. Go out there, get creative. And if there's anything you guys are struggling with, be sure to share it with me, and I will do my best to see what I can come up with for you. But have an awesome week, guys.